Hey, Steelers Nation. We're back with an exclusive video packed with the latest updates on our beloved Pittsburgh Steelers. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. This way, you'll never miss any exclusive updates or exciting Steelers news. Man, if you thought the NFL offseason was starting to cool down, think again, because the Pittsburgh Steelers just threw a massive grenade into the football world. Out of absolutely nowhere, reports are exploding that the Steelers have pulled off one of the wildest, most unexpected moves in recent memory. They've got a new quarterback, and not just any quarterback. We're talking about Jordan Love. Yeah, the same Jordan Love who was supposed to be the Green Bay Packers' next big franchise guy after Aaron Rodgers. Apparently, the Steelers' front office worked in total silence, keeping this deal locked down tighter than Fort Knox, and when the news dropped, the entire league went into chaos. Fans are shocked, analysts are scrambling, and social media is on fire. It's that kind of moment that makes you stop scrolling and say, wait, what? The Steelers, a team known for its gritty defense and smash-mouth football, just landed one of the most intriguing young quarterbacks in the league, and nobody saw it coming. The question now isn't whether it's real. It's what this means for the AFC, for Kenny Pickett, and for the future of the black and gold. Let's talk about the atmosphere in Pittsburgh right now, because it feels like the city just woke up to a brand new era. The Steelers fan base has been divided for a while when it comes to quarterback play. Some folks believe Kenny Pickett was developing nicely. Others said he wasn't the guy. But now, that debate might be over. Jordan Love brings something different, something rare. He's got the arm, the poise, and that raw, untapped ceiling that coaches drool over. You can feel the optimism in the air. Even those die-hard, old-school Steelers fans, the ones who usually roll their eyes at flashy moves, are curious. They're cautious, but deep down, they're intrigued. There's a buzz that hasn't been there since the early Ben Roethlisberger days, when the team believed anything was possible. And if Mike Tomlin really gets to work with a quarterback like Love, you can bet the rest of the AFC North just got a lot more nervous. Because this isn't just a roster change. It feels like a statement. But how did this even happen? That's the question echoing across talk shows, podcasts, and every corner of the internet right now. The Packers, for all the talk about Jordan Love being their future, must have seen something or decided they were ready to move on. Maybe it was contract disputes, maybe it was front office tension, maybe they just didn't believe enough after a season of ups and downs. Whatever it was, the Steelers were waiting in the shadows, ready to strike. The rumor is that negotiations were going on quietly for weeks, maybe even months, while everyone's attention was focused on other trade buzz. Then, out of nowhere, the hammer dropped. It's the kind of move that makes you rethink everything you thought you knew about how this team operates. The Steelers have never been known as splashy traders, but this is bold. It's aggressive. It's saying, we're tired of waiting, we're going for it right now. And you've got to respect that kind of energy in today's NFL. Now, here's where it gets even more interesting. Apparently, Jordan Love himself pushed for this move. According to some whispers, he felt like things in Green Bay were getting stale, that he wanted a fresh start in a city where football still feels like religion. Pittsburgh, with its blue-collar grit and legacy of champions, might be the perfect match for that mindset. And honestly, who wouldn't want to play for Mike Tomlin? The man commands respect, knows how to motivate, and has never had a losing season. Imagine Love in that environment, backed by a defense that can actually get him the ball back, a coaching staff that knows how to develop talent, and a fan base that'll treat him like royalty if he delivers. It's not just a new chapter for the Steelers. It's a new chance for Jordan Love to write his own legacy. And if it clicks, oh boy, the rest of the AFC might be in serious trouble. Meanwhile, the Green Bay Packers fan base is absolutely melting down online. Half of them are furious, saying this is a betrayal of the rebuild they were promised. The other half are saying, good riddance, let's start fresh. It's chaos. You scroll through Twitter, Reddit, or any football forum, and it's a war zone of hot takes. Some believe Love never got a fair chance, while others think he showed enough inconsistency to justify a trade. But the real twist is that this move completely reshapes both teams' narratives. The Packers are now in quarterback limbo again, something their fans haven't experienced for decades, while the Steelers suddenly have hope. It's almost poetic. The team that's been searching for an identity since Big Ben retired just took Green Bay's future and made it their present. It's risky, no doubt, but it's exciting. And in sports, excitement is half the battle. What's fascinating is how the locker room dynamic might change overnight. Picture that first team meeting. You've got veterans like Cam Hayward and Minkah Fitzpatrick looking at Jordan Love, knowing he's here to lead. You've got George Pickens probably grinning ear to ear, realizing he's about to have a quarterback who can actually push the ball downfield. You got Najee Harris quietly thinking, okay, now defenses can't just stack the box. The ripple effect is real. A new quarterback doesn't just bring new plays, he brings new belief. That energy, that feeling that something big is possible again, spreads fast. It's contagious. And that's what makes this move so powerful. It's not just about stats or arm strength or contracts. It's about belief. And in the NFL, belief changes everything. The Steelers haven't felt this kind of buzz in years, and whether you love or hate the move, you've got to admit, Pittsburgh just became must-watch football again. Now here's where things start getting really spicy, because insiders are saying this move didn't just happen overnight. Word is Mike Tomlin himself was personally involved in scouting Jordan Love for months. He reportedly had his eye on him even before last season ended, studying his tape, his decision-making, his composure under pressure. Tomlin apparently saw something. That spark, that sense of calm amidst chaos that defines great quarterbacks. The kind of guy who doesn't panic when the pocket collapses. And if that's true, then this was no impulsive move. This was calculated. Strategic. The Steelers are known for discipline and patience, not for swinging wild. So if they went all in on Jordan Love, you better believe they saw something real. Some folks inside the organization are even calling this Tomlin's legacy move, saying he wanted to handpick the quarterback who could define the next decade of Steelers football. And when you think about it, that's a huge statement. It's not just a bet on talent. It's a bet on identity. Tomlin is saying loud and clear, this is the new Steelers, and we're not just here to compete. We're here to contend. And you can already feel the shift across the entire AFC. Teams like the Bengals and Ravens, who thought they had a handle on the division hierarchy, are suddenly side-eyeing Pittsburgh again. Joe Burrow's Bengals were supposed to dominate the next few years. Lamar Jackson's Ravens looked ready to run wild. And Deshaun Watson's Browns, well, they're still figuring things out. But now, with Jordan Love in a mix, it feels like the balance just tilted. The Steelers' defense was already a nightmare. Now, if their offense starts humming, this division becomes absolute chaos. Rival coaches are probably up late right now, rewatching film, wondering how this changes everything. Because if Love clicks with this system, if the offensive line holds up, and if the receivers buy in, Pittsburgh becomes one of those teams you don't want to face in December. They've got that gritty, cold-weather toughness, that underdog chip on their shoulder. And when you add a quarterback who can sling it with confidence, suddenly every Sunday looks a lot scarier for the rest of the AFC North. What's really wild is how quiet the Steelers front office kept this whole thing. Normally, when a move of this magnitude is brewing, there are leaks everywhere. Beat writers catching wind, anonymous sources whispering to reporters. That whole circus. But this time, nothing. Total radio silence. It's like they build a cone of secrecy around the deal. That's what makes this story so electric. It wasn't just a trade. It was an ambush. The Steelers waited for the perfect moment, when no one was paying attention, and boom, they detonated a bombshell. And let's be real, that kind of precision says a lot about how serious this organization is right now. They're not messing around with rebuild talk or 5-year plans. They're saying, our window is now. It's vintage Pittsburgh, quiet strength, sudden violence. They don't talk. They act. And this move feels like an action statement carved into steel. You can almost picture Art Rooney too sitting in that office, smirking, knowing full well how shocked the league would be when the announcement hit. That's how legends build legacies, in silence, with impact. And make no mistake, the expectations for Jordan Love just skyrocketed. This isn't a small market team or a mid-tier franchise where you can take years to develop. This is Pittsburgh, the same city that eats, breathes, and dreams football. Every throw he makes, every mistake he commits, every touchdown he delivers, it'll all be magnified. The pressure is enormous. But maybe that's exactly what he needs. Some players crumble under the bright lights. Others become stars because of them. Jordan Love might just be the kind of guy who thrives in that chaos. And with Tomlin guiding him, that locker room will protect him while demanding the best from him. That combination, high standards with genuine support, can forge greatness. The fan base will give him a chance, but make no mistake, Pittsburgh doesn't do patience forever. If he delivers, he'll be immortalized. If he falters, he'll hear about it. Either way, the spotlight is his now. And honestly, that's what makes sports beautiful. The risk, the uncertainty, the thrill of watching a story unfold in real time. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. You can already imagine how the first home game is going to feel. Heinz Field, or whatever corporate name it has now, packed to the brim, towels swirling, fans roaring, the air buzzing with anticipation. Jordan Love jogging onto that field for the first time in black and gold will be a cinematic moment. The crowd won't just be watching a new quarterback. They'll be witnessing a new chapter. That stadium has seen legends come and go, dynasties rise and fade, but it's been craving a new hero, someone who can carry the torch. And if Love connects on his first big pass, maybe a deep bomb to Pickens, that place will absolutely erupt. It'll feel like destiny, like the beginning of something special. You can't script that kind of energy. It's raw, it's real, and it's why football remains the greatest show in America. Because every once in a while, the unexpected happens, and for a few fleeting moments, the impossible feels possible again. And that's the thing. Whether this move becomes a historic success or a colossal flop, it's already one of the boldest plays in Steelers history. It takes guts to shake the foundations of a franchise this stable, to bet on a player who's still writing his own story. But fortune favors the bold, and Pittsburgh just proved it's not afraid to roll the dice. Fans will debate it for weeks, analysts will dissect every angle, and rival teams will quietly sweat it out. Because deep down, everyone knows what this means. The Steelers aren't done. They're back in the conversation. Jordan Love might just be the spark that reignites the fire in the Steel City. And if that happens, if this gamble pays off, we'll look back at this moment and realize it wasn't just a rumor or a headline. It was the beginning of something big, something legendary. And trust me, you're going to want to remember where you were when the news first broke, because this story is just getting started. Finally, speculation continues about the broader implications for the NFL if Surtain's rumored signing proves accurate, with analysts suggesting that Pittsburgh could emerge as the new defensive benchmark. Rival teams may feel pressured to reevaluate personnel decisions, free agency strategies, and even draft priorities to compete with a suddenly elite secondary. Conversations online are increasingly focused on historical parallels, drawing comparisons to previous defensive dynasties and elite backfields, fueling anticipation about whether Pittsburgh could recreate similar dominance in the modern era. Fans debate endlessly about potential matchups against elite quarterbacks, imagining a scenario where Surtain's coverage skills force mistakes, turnovers, and momentum shifts that swing games in the Steelers' favor. Analysts speculate on complementary player development, coaching strategies, and in-game adjustments, all of which could amplify the perceived impact of one cornerback on an entire team. Social media remains abuzz with reactions, predictions, and highlight compilations, feeding the rumor machine and keeping the story alive. Discussions even extend to long-term projections, pondering how Surtain could shape Pittsburgh's defensive philosophy for years, influence draft strategies, and mentor the next generation of cornerbacks. In essence, the rumor has evolved into a larger narrative about transformation, aspiration, and the pursuit of excellence. As the NFL world watches, debates, and theorizes, the anticipation surrounding Patrick Surtain II's potential arrival in Pittsburgh shows no sign of slowing, leaving fans, analysts, and insiders on edge as the next chapter of Steelers' defensive history seemingly begins to unfold. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Pittsburgh Steelers, make sure to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.